For 14 months, there's been a ban on evictions here in Illinois, but that is set to change later this summer. Amanda Vinicky joins us now for a look at housing in the pandemic's quote-unquote bridge phase. Amanda, what did you find out?
Well, Paris, that ban on evictions has taken various forms, going from a total prohibition to now, where evictions are only allowed in the strictest of circumstances, like when a judge deems somebody to be a dangerous threat.
So there are limited exceptions to the moratorium. The problem is that while the moratorium has prevented evictions, which is extremely important, and that's really a public health issue, it has not relieved tenants of the responsibility to pay the rent that's been accruing. They still have that debt.
Lawrence Wood is an attorney with the Legal Aid Chicago's housing practice group, and he says that a new state program is going to go a long way there. Illinois is going to spend $1.5 billion of federal money to pay back rent that is owed by residents of limited means, priority going to those who've been unemployed. They and their landlords apply online, and then the money goes straight to the landlords. Michael Meany represents Chicago landlords and says that is going to really help to prevent a huge wave of evictions once that moratorium is lifted.
We really don't think that there is going to be this, what's been described as a tsunami of evictions once the moratorium ends.
But Wood says that this program has limitations.
First of all, we don't know if $25,000 is going to satisfy the debt. I mean, people haven't been paying rent since the pandemic started back in March.
Paul Arena represents small and medium-sized landlords, and when I asked him whether this new relief program is the cure, he did not hesitate to tell me no. He points to a couple first-time landlords renting to people who stopped paying rent before the pandemic, but then the eviction moratorium kicked in before they could do anything about it. The relief money is only supposed to cover renters with COVID-related hardships, so they may not qualify, even though they had to abide by the eviction ban. Now, tenants also have to cooperate with landlords to apply for the funding.
If a tenant just moves out, right? Say they stayed for a year and then just move out, there's no assistance for those landlords. They have no option right now. So there's a whole list of things that areas where there are obvious deficiencies in the programs that can be addressed.
When Governor J.B. Pritzker announced this program, he also said that the eviction moratorium is going to come to an end this summer, being phased out, then stopping in August. Mike Meany says that this is welcome and sensible news for landlords. He says evictions should be a last resort, but he hopes that Pritzker will now loosen the conditions so that evictions are allowed in circumstances unrelated to COVID and non-payment.
To allow for cases to move forward against residents that are again, breaking the rules, whatever it might be, causing problems, being a danger to other residents of the building.
Now, North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic's Director of Housing Law Practice, Maureen Kim, says she works with a lot of people who've been in touch with her, who, through no fault of their own, she says, have been unable to pay their rent throughout the pandemic. Now she says that it is important that Illinois be mindful before completely lifting that ban.
We just want to make sure that all of this money that is out there to provide rental assistance gets distributed fully before the moratorium is lifted. And the online application process does take some time before it is approved and the money is distributed.
Now, meanwhile, the governor also signing a law that seals evictions records from March of 2020, really when the pandemic began, through March of next year, so 2022. Kim says that this is an important protection so that a huge number of tenants won't be blacklisted from future apartments.
Mere filing of an eviction case goes on a tenant's screening report, and a future landlord will see that and not want to rent to them.
Now, but Arena says, take it from a landlord's perspective.
They're destroying the credit of the landlords. right? Those landlords who haven't been able to pay their bills because they had no income, their credit is going to be wrecked, but nobody's worried about their records. So this whole approach has been so one-sided, it's frustrating.
And he says that if you don't have landlords providing housing opportunities, that is going to cause another crisis, a further lack of affordable housing. We could see some more housing action in Springfield before the month's end, because the pandemic has really brought a lot of attention to these issues. With that, Paris, back to you.